Hey everyone, this is Zebarsis, and welcome to the Teaching of Isaac, the Repentance Edition. Before we jump right in, I just want to mention that I have a new microphone, so hopefully there's going to be less distortion on these videos. Also, this particular tile screen, it's only shown if you've acquired the Dead God achievement for all 3 save files, and it wants me to stop playing, but I won't. So for those of you that have been watching my prior videos, I managed to get to 25 wins in a row, but the problem is I kept randoming characters and they weren't very diverse. So this time around I'm going to do things differently. I'm going to play through every single character one time before I start randoming characters. This also includes the Keeper and the Lost, as well as the Tainted variants. This particular episode is going to focus on how the alternate path works, as well as showing you how to get to Mother and how to defeat her. We're going to start with Isaac. Alright, so to start with, I'm heading straight for the alternate path. I actually prefer to alternate between the alternate path and the standard path, because it gives me a chance to experience the entire game. However, in this particular case, I need to show you how to get there, and I need to show you what everything looks like. So for a big room like this, you just stay calm first of all, obviously, but also just circle around the room. You want to kite. Don't let yourself get caught on these rocks. And yeah, watch out for these flames that the flaming fatties leave behind. And normally this would be a great start, but gold key not as helpful on the first level because the treasure room is always open. And don't do what I just did there. Definitely not recommended. These flies ruin all your charge, and I totally botched that. But anyway, Sister Maggie's a pretty good familiar. I might end up re-rolling her anyway, assuming I even have a charge. I think the best option would have been just to re-roll that right away, but obviously I blew that opportunity. So I'm taking my time to destroy all the fires. I probably say this in half my videos, but it is important, especially in the early stages. Destroy all the flames because they could drop dimes and eternal hearts, soul hearts, etc., so it's really helpful. Once you start destroying everything immediately and it's really easy, then at that point maybe it's time to relax and stop destroying everything. But it's up to you. The more time you spend, the stronger you'll get. I'll go in the curse room last, after the boss room, because I want to have a potential soul heart by the end of this, so that way I won't lose my devil deal chance in the next round. Now what I should have done there is I should have started on one side and then ran to the other side, but I kind of just stayed over here. I should have started here and then worked my way to the right to kite them, or the other way around, but instead I just head straight for the wall and there's no space there. Let's see what we got. Well, at least I made a profit. 1 coin. And earlier I mentioned that gold key not as valuable on the first floor, but obviously it's fantastic to have regardless, because now I can open these golden chests and not have to worry about having keys. Speaking of keys, try to save 1 key for the next floor in case there's no keys that drop. That way you can still get the treasure room item. I kind of forgot how many hearts I have. I think I've been damaged at least once, so I'll go for the half heart for now. And let's see what boss we got. Dingle, classic. So one thing I like about Dingle is you can use the poops that are in the room to block him, but the configuration that's happening right here, it's not that helpful. Sometimes they put the poops in the middle and you can use it to block them in. Either way, when you see the whistle or hear the whistle, get out of the way every single time. I don't try to go in between the tiers because it's a little bit too dangerous. But now that Dingle has created a poop, I can use that to my advantage by totally doing exactly the opposite of what I wanted. What I meant by that was if there's a poop in a good spot, you can use it to block them in. But in this case, that just didn't happen that time. So again, I don't go in between the tiers. And pretty easy boss, especially considering what is present in Repentance. It gets pretty ugly. Oh yeah, pro tip. Sometimes the poops that are left by enemies will not spawn hearts or coins in a boss room. So to fix that, you leave the room and you come back, and then it makes it drop hearts and coins once again. It's more applicable to Larry Jr., but either way, I didn't get anything from it. And there was only one poop, so it wasn't really a big deal. I love the counterfeit penny. Really adds up the money really fast. And I'll grab this in just a moment. I'm going to save it to get a full heal once I go through the curse room. Now the question is, do I want to re-roll Sister Maggie? In this case, my floor is almost over. She'll give me a pretty good start, so I'm actually going to take her. Probably would have been better if I took her from the start, but I wasn't even sure if I would get a full charge or not. And it's going to especially help for the alternate floors coming up. Now my mistake there was I didn't stay back far enough. That's why I got shot. And with Repentance, I mentioned that the treasure room's open, but also the shop is open too. They changed that. In Afterbirth Plus, you have no choice but to deal with having to open it with another key. I do like there's options, but I don't have the options since I'm poor. So I'm going to move on. And I got 2 bombs. Level 1 is a very strange configuration most of the time, so it's very difficult to figure out where the secret room is. Usually it's near the start, could be here, could be here. I have 2 bombs. I don't really want to risk it, so I'm just going to move on. And maybe if I'm lucky, there'll be a troll bomb in one of the chests in the curse room. I'm going to re-roll it. Now, Curse of the Tower, normally I would avoid it. However, Repentance has changed it recently with the latest patch, at least on PC. Console will get this later on. Regardless, I will take it. It used to be that if you did any kind of self-damage, a bunch of troll bombs would spawn and you'd ruin everything. You'd destroy the blood donation machine, destroy beggars, etc. But now, it only applies if you get damaged by an enemy. So in that situation, I wouldn't mind spawning a bunch of bombs to blow up my enemies. And there could be a super secret room here. In fact, there probably is, because this section is blocked off and it's near the end. So I'm going to do a risk and blow it up. And no surprise in this case, there it is. Okay, I apologize for dissing the golden key, because this is a mega chest. You have to unlock it. By unlock it, I mean there's a certain character you have to play in order to get this to even appear. Regardless, it takes up to 8 keys, so make sure you have at least close to that amount before you start opening it. Otherwise, you're just taking a gamble. Mr. Boom, picking it up to remove it from the item pool. You need to do that with activatable items. And Bloody Lust, great item. Every time you get damaged, it increases your damage for the remainder of the level. It resets next floor. Since I got the bomb, I'm going to gamble. Well, it's not really a gamble because I have nothing to risk at this point. But I'm going to drop a bomb and see if I find the room. It's probably there, but I'm going to save my last bomb. In fact, for educational purposes, we can find out exactly where the secret room is. Now, I'm not going to exploit this, I'm just doing this to show you where it is. And I was wrong, it's not even in the starting room, so I had no chance there. Let's move on. Those rooms will make a lot more sense in anything besides the first floor, which kind of defies the rules of how secret rooms work. So Samson's Lock, every time you kill an enemy, there's a small chance it'll increase your damage just for the room. I want the money instead. Because that money is guaranteed. So this is the alternate path. You do have to unlock it. You have to beat Hush 3 times. And once you do, that unlocks the alternate path for you to take. Now, one thing I should have done, I should have bought a soul heart at the shop, because that would protect my devil deal chance. So I blew that, but that's alright. Isaac's always a learning experience. I have thousands of hours in this game. It doesn't matter. You always learn. And that's kind of the reason why I started the series in the first place. So I just did a bunch of donations, and I got some extra damage. I got the IV bag to spawn. Normally I would use it if I had Bloody Lust, but in this case I have the D6, which is more powerful. More potential power, at least. So I'm going to keep that. So Dross is the harder of the 2 alternate paths. Because every floor, or most floors, have a regular floor and an alternate floor. This is the alternate of the alternate, I guess you could say. The bosses are especially harder. So I'm going in the curse room because I want to see if there's a soul heart to protect my devil deal chance. There is not. I usually like to pop mystery pills at the end in case they're negative like amnesia and I can't see the map. But because I'm in the curse room and I don't want to go back for it, I'm going to try it. What a great find. I Can See Forever opens up secret and super secret rooms. I didn't see the lucky penny there, but if there's a green shimmer, that means that you're going to get a luck up when you pick up that penny. And I could blow this shopkeeper up for a high chance of nickels, since it has nickels in its eye, or a singular nickel rather. But I want to save my bomb. You want to think about the future, because also the next alternate path is going to require 2 bombs in order for me to get to it. So if you don't have those 2 bombs, you're not going to be able to fully take the alternate path. Now, I'm not going to waste my key. I used the pill earlier. I could sneak in from the side. Good old reliable HP up or the mystery item. So when you take the alternate path, you've got 2 choices, the one that's visible and the one that it's a mystery item. One thing I like about the alternate path is even if it's harder, you do get 2 choices. So if the one item that's revealed is garbage, you can grab this one. But I'm going to hold off on that. Maybe I'll get a chance to re-roll the HP up into something better. But HP ups are good, especially for devil deals. But I'm going to wait for the moment. And there might be a soul heart here. Let's check the shop. There is not. But I am going to buy the blue map so I can have the rooms be revealed to me from now on. So there's no more mystery with that. So watch out for these slimy guys right there, because they shoot out a lot of slime and their heads explode. I'm actually shocked that I got through that without taking damage while I was sliding around. That yellow slime pushes you. Alright, so these are rotten hearts. When you get hit with a rotten heart, you take 2 points of damage, not 1. So if it's, instead of a half heart, it's a full heart. That also means in the womb it's going to be double damage, and that really hurts with a rotten heart. But it does make flies spawn every time. But the other perk is it protects your devil deal chance if you do get hit. So I'm actually going to grab that just in case. Now I got the D6 fully charged. I'm not going to explore the other rooms yet because I'd rather go straight for the boss. That way I can re-roll the devil room in case it's got some bad items. This is probably the hardest entry-level boss for me. I will try my best, but you want to keep her in a circle. Now, in my case, I have so much damage I didn't have to deal with it, but she was going to shoot out those explosives, and it would have blown up the gas in a chain reaction. So thanks to my high damage, I don't have to deal with the harder aspects of her. But either way, as you can see, there's lots of gas there, and watch out for the creep. That will damage you if you touch it. Alright, so let's see what we got in the devil room. This is a ridiculous find. The Maw was nerfed in Repentance. It used to give you a damage up. Now it no longer does that, but the Maw's ability is so powerful that I think it's still worth it. Now in my case, I'm going to take what would normally be a lethal devil deal. However, this gives me soul hearts, or dark hearts rather, so I'm going to be just fine. I got damage up. and I got the dark hearts, so I'm in really good shape right now. Now I don't want to re-roll the lost coin there because it does give you a luck up, which I mean it's helpful. Every bit of luck helps. It makes your abilities that have special effects cast more often, and also makes it so the items that drop in a cleared room are better more often as well. So I'm trying to head back. I want to re-roll the IV bag. Even if I didn't have all this extra damage, this pretty much wipes out any of the extra summons, and the alternate path has summons all the time. Alright, and there's the sacrifice room. I have no health that I want to sacrifice in this case. I usually will use a sacrifice room if I want a bunch of soul hearts or coins or a potential item from an angel item rather. But in my case, I got nothing. I also do it for access to the angel room or devil room. Alright, here we go. Bumbo. Bumbo's going to take all my money. But I don't have much left to do, so I'm probably going to end up taking Bumbo unless I find something I could use to re-roll Bumbo. I'm going to take out these explosives here because I feel like they're just going to get me into trouble. Here we go. See the gas there? I got to watch out. Now, unfortunately, the Maw got me into trouble, but that's alright. I'll be fine with these 3 Dark Hearts. And try to avoid the left and right side when the monsters spawn in, because that's usually where they come. Right here, and then right here. Thank goodness for all these extra keys, otherwise I wouldn't be able to open all these golden chests I've been encountering. So the world reveals the map. Well, kind of useless for me, I revealed the map. In my case, I'm grabbing I Can See Forever, because it's going to open up the secret and super secret room, which means it's going to spare me a bomb. So, alright, Bumbo, come here. The Bumbo takes coins, slowly grows, and in its final form, which requires quite a bit of coin, Bumbo will spawn items as well as blow you up with troll bombs, which is always fun. Bumbo also likes to blow up beggars and blood donation machines, so it's kind of annoying, but Bumbo also gives you a lot of goodies. So I've taken all the devil deals. I want more health ups because I want to take more in the future. Plus, I don't have that much health. It'll help keep me alive, obviously. And I am going to take a Rotten Heart because I don't anticipate even reaching that red heart there. So the extra flies that spawn per room are going to help me out. And let's grab that lost coin, get my luck up. Oh, you bastard. You bastard. Ah. Well, at least I got the range up from the lost coin, but that's pretty disappointing. So we're still in Dross. I'm going to head for the next alternate floor in just a moment. But for now, I gotta reach the boss. And what do we have here? Technology. Heck yeah. So they kind of changed how it works in Repentance, because you can see how it does have a slight curve based upon your angle. Well, I wouldn't say a curve necessarily, but either way, it does shift. And this mirror here, we need this in order to get to the next area. At least the next area for the alternate path. Well, to be more specific, my final destination on the alternate path requires the mirror. You can actually go down the alt path even if you are not completing the knife piece, which I'll talk more about in just a moment. But in the meantime, let's get in the secret room. This game is just loving me, I guess. This is great. So I'm going to take Chaos. It, in a nutshell, shuffles the item pools. There's more complexity to that, but that's just the quick version. You can look it up if you need more information on that. And I've never actually had the Lost Contact combined with Technology before. It blocks the shots, but it means the tier that you shot to block a shot with makes the tier go away. So how does that work with technology? We're going to find out. So in the meantime, I need to save my 2 bombs just in case. This trinket right here, this will prevent me from having to use keys when shifting between rooms that require keys, but then you have to do a fight. I'll show it just to demonstrate, but I may end up keeping the counterfeit penny. And for this particular room, you gotta be quick. That's why, but thankfully Bumbo was there to help pick up the pieces, but I did miss that key. If I was desperate, I could use a bomb to get that key as well. You gotta race if you want these coins. And in this case, I do. So let's take a look and see how the blue key works. No key was spent, but now I have to do a battle. Some of these rooms can get really nasty. This particular one's not so bad, but as you can see, that blue fatty there had homing tiers, indicated by the purple. And thanks to Chaos, I get 99 bombs. So I may as well use them in the meantime. Now in the past, you could destroy these donation machines with bombs and get coins. You can still do that, but if you blow it up with a bomb, it's blown up for the rest of your round. So you have to start a new game in order to actually get it to respawn. So it's pretty obvious. Now I could milk the 3 bombs before doing this, but I mean it's freaking 99 bombs. I'm going to be just fine. And I forgot I need a little more coin before I can pick up that next soul heart, which I definitely want since that's the only thing I'm lacking right now is health. Sure, I could use a tears up, but I have a lot of damage, so I'm doing just fine. You want to make sure you stop shooting, because I like to charge the maw beforehand, but the problem is if you drop a bomb, it's going to push the bomb around, and you could get hurt. This is a new item, or a new pickup rather. It fully charges your item, but the problem is it hurts you too. But it does respawn in another room, so you can actually grab it 3 times, but you have to find it. Remember, no mystery pills till the end of the round. And I'm almost ready to move on to the boss. Actually, I may as well do it now. My D6 is fully charged, so let's go take care of this boss. Turdlet. Turdlet is going to split into 2 forms. It's normally a pretty hard boss because it's so erratic. However, in my case, I deal so much damage, it's pretty much irrelevant. Humbling Bundle, of course. It's going to make items very oftentimes be doubled. By items, I'm referring to pickups. Now, unfortunately, by taking the Devil deal, it means that every deal from now on is going to cost me health. If I had taken an Angel item, I could keep getting free items without having to spend a heart. So that's the downside to Devil deals, but in this case, Chaos is so powerful that it doesn't really matter too much for me. But let's see what else I get. Nah. Alright, so I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to show you how the mirror world works. Although actually I have to go find the white flame in order to do that. On the second floor of the alternate path, whether it's Downpour or Dross, you see a white flame. It turns you into the Lost. Now be careful, in the very first room, if I were to touch this flame right now, I would just die instantly. No Holy Mantle. However, when you go to the next room, you see in the upper left, Holy Mantle now has an indicator, and it tells me that I have 1 charge of Holy Mantle. Now, you want to be really careful. There's a lot of spike areas that could be very tempting. I could very well die right now trying to get this, but just be careful. Especially since the Holy Mantle has been nerfed a little bit, it doesn't last as long. So with the Lost ability, you can go in here, in the mirror. By the way, don't bomb it, otherwise it's going to destroy it and you can't go in. And if you destroy it from the other end, you're going to die. So you gotta be really careful in the mirror world. 2 hits and you're dead. This is the first of 2 knife pieces, and this is what you need in order to take the full path to Mother. which is our destination. I'm trying to destroy the poop, but the angle of technology kind of thwarting me a little bit. There's a nickel. A little Bumbo took that for me, but I got the Humbling Bundle now, so it's going to help supplement Bumbo there and help me be able to get a bunch of coins too. And thank goodness for all these bombs. Although in that case, I was expecting to get a nickel, but instead, sometimes there's a small chance the shopkeepers with nickels in their eyes still drop nothing. So I wouldn't be reckless like I just was, because I got way too close to the head. I should have backed up because I wanted to get my Ma ability to destroy the enemies, but with Holy Mantle, it's kind of a risk when I'll just die in 2 hits in this case. There's the Empress. I'm going to use it because I have pills. I won't be able to take everything to the next floor. Empress will boost my speed and my damage. Means Turtlet does not stand a chance. This is, I don't really know how to pronounce it. It's not Jello, Gello, I guess. But regardless, what it does is you use it, and you got a little buddy there with your umbilical cord, and it'll help you out with DPS. But in my case, I want the D6, obviously. Gonna re-roll. This will help supplement my 99 bombs. Now I have, well, I can't have more than 99 bombs, but I now have homing bombs. So I got a mystery pill. The best time to pop a mystery pill is when you are actually in the lost form, because you cannot get a bad trip or a health down when you're in the lost form. So I'm going to hit it. In this case, relax, pretty useless, but that's kind of how pills work. They're useless, or they're great, or they're terrible. Pretty much no in between. One thing I like about being able to turn to the Lost on this floor is you can enter curse rooms no problem. In my case, well, in most cases, there's little benefit in going to a curse room in the mirror world, because it's not going to have whatever was in there, like the treasure chest in this case. But I got 99 bombs, and I could have got a soul heart from the flames, but this wasn't my day. Just be careful, obviously, because you go in and if you get hit once, you're done for. So I know the boss room is right next to the mirror, but there's no boss in that world, in the boss arena to my left over there. So I'm not going to go and bomb my way there. Now you got to be really careful with those bombs. If you have a bomb effect, it could destroy this mirror and destroy your world. Just so you can see it though. I missed. Okay, that's fine. I have a lot of bombs, I could waste it. And thanks to Pyro, my soul hearts are really adding up here. Now I could bomb my way up there. I'm still very stingy with my pickups, so I'm going to blow this up. And Bumbo's taking all my coins, so I need the counterfeit penny to help keep me maintained. Wow, I'm really unlucky with the nickels recently, but that's alright. IBS, I'm gonna grab it. They changed it recently. In fact, this is the first time I've grabbed it since they've changed it. So IBS, it's irritable bowel syndrome. It makes you shoot different types of poops, and they have varying degrees of poop effects. They come from the tainted variant of Blue Baby, which I'll show you that in another video. And you see that was explosive diarrhea. It synergized with the homing tears, or the homing bombs rather. And I think I made the right choice picking that up. Sometimes it can get you into trouble, because if I didn't have the homing bombs, they would have cornered me. So, before going in this curse room, what I also like to do is turn myself into the Lost just so I can go in the curse room. It would have been better if I went there before going in the mirror world, but that's alright. If you clear one room and you're in the Lost form, when you go to the next room, you are no longer going to be the Lost. I guess you can call it Soul of the Lost in this case, because you're not really technically the Lost, but it's close enough. So I'm going to bomb my way in there. Got to be careful not to blow yourself up or to touch the flame. There's probably a troll bomb in there, or a super troll bomb, or spiders, so expect that. In fact, run away right away. And there it is. I have explored everything. I'm going to go ahead and move on. Now, I could head for the standard path at this point. However, with this video, I want to show you the alternate path in full. Just so you can see the new enemies and how it works, etc., etc. Bomb number 1, bomb number 2, and we're heading for the next area. Of course, we're going to blow this stuff up. There could be something special in the mushroom, like the magic mushroom. And let's get out of here. Another arcade. I'm getting pretty lucky with that. Now, I am the Lost, so if I touch the Devil Beggar there, I'm going to die instantly. So I do need to clear one room. And I don't want to take damage when going in the curse room, so I'm going to check it out right now. Obviously, that would be a bad idea in my case. Well, I could slowly bomb my way there, or... ta-da! Now, there is a secret room there. I didn't actually have to blow that up with my regular bomb either. Could have obviously just used this. But it's becoming a little bit less important since I have Pyro. No, I want the nickel. Yeah, you gotta be quick. One of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of Bumbo, but he pays out, and sometimes pays out big if you're really lucky. You can drop a golden treasure chest, and then that could have something of value. And I could, even if it's not a valuable thing, I could just re-roll it. By the way, as you can see, I no longer have the Soul of the Lost, because I have officially cleared a room, so now I'm pretty much safe. Now, what I should have done, actually, is cleared this arena later, because if there's something that's in the treasure room that's not good, then I could use this arena to gain 3 charges. As you can see, that poop is pretty helpful, but it's really hard to keep it alive. That synergy is spectacular. I do not regret this at all. Balls of steel. I broke my own rule by using a pill ahead of time. I still recommend, despite what I just did, to use your pills once you fully explored everything. The mystery pills, at least. If you had PhD or something like that, then not a big deal. Now, IBS is kind of interacting strangely with the Maw, because I try to let go sometimes, and instead of it doing the Maw's ability, it just throws a poop. So I guess that's an unfortunate downside to this. Alright, let's grab that golden key. Undefined. It's a great item, but the problem is D6 is king. So I'm going to re-roll this room, and I can re-roll it with money in this case. I don't have to waste my D6 re-roll. But I also like money, so I will just do one regular re-roll. Now, okay, this is actually a pretty underrated item. I think most people overlook it. However, in my case, it stops bosses dead in their tracks and just holds them in place. It's a big stun. So it can be really helpful, especially against the bigger bosses. I have plenty of damage, so I don't want to re-roll it again and maybe get something worse. Okay, and that is where IBS can really get you in trouble, but you can always leave the room if, well, not always, but you can leave the room if the opportunity presents itself. And once again, Chaos has definitely paid off. So we'll reveal the entire floor, and it'll carry through on every floor for the rest of the game. In the meantime, I'm going to blow up this shopkeeper. It's going to raise my deal chance just a little bit. It's not much, but hey, I got 90 bombs left. I'm doing pretty good on that. So now I can see the entire map. I'm doing pretty good, so I'm just going to start moving forward. I prefer to explore the entire floor, usually, because it helps really build you up. You want to milk the game for all it's worth, I guess you could say. But I'm in a pretty good position right now. So I could also use a fire poop with this poop, and they'll blow up together, but it's unlikely I would find two synergizing poops in the same room. And you could use that to kind of exploit to get the secret rooms if you're lacking bombs. But good luck getting that combination. So I think you can see why I got that worm friend there. Helps keep the enemies in place, but of course that one enemy there still attacked. That's something I'm still learning. I'm trying to learn what enemies get held in place and can't move at all, or what enemies will still continue to attack you. I'm at the end. Let's pop some mystery pills. Tears up, that's great. Tears down, that's not so great, but I still made a little profit, and now I know what pill is going to give me the tears up. Hierophant is going to give me some soul hearts. Moon teleports me to the secret room, but I already know where it is, and I've been there, so less helpful. I'll take the moon though, so that way next floor, if I go in a curse room, I can teleport out and take one less hit. But let's start with the magician, so I could use that on whatever boss I'm going to face. Yeah, thanks for that. So I'm going to fully charge them all. Let's enter. Great Gideon. No matter how strong you are limited to how long it takes for Great Gideon to spawn all these monsters. There's 6 waves. For those of you that are familiar with the Great Gideon and Vanishing Twins item, that would cause a soft lock, but that has since been corrected. So when the rocks come, you want to try to go around them, but it's pretty hard, especially when there's a lot of monsters. And then near the final phase, on the wave 5 and 6, you'll see that the Great Gideon will shoot out the lava in the middle. Don't do what I did and stay in the middle like that, because the flames will come, but I do have a homing poop right here. Very helpful with technology. And of course I'm going to grab the pact as damage, tears up. I think I'm also one devil item away from turning into the Leviathan transformation, so I'm really looking for those devil deals here. And let's move on. I can't head on to the new alternate floor yet. I'm going to have to wait for the mines 2. Or alternatively, the alternate paths floor 2, which we'll see if I get that. And I did. Welcome to the Ash Pits. I can see the whole floor, so I'm going to head straight for the treasure room while my D6 is fully charged. Now, I did forget to grab the moon card. I am rushing, definitely, because there's quite a lot of content that I need to show as a whole. So I don't want the video to run too long if possible. So I may be making some stupid mistakes here and there. So we got Lazarus Rags, mystery item, no thank you. Dad's Key, mystery item, no thank you. In my case, I don't have... Mega Satan is not my destination, so I don't want to use the key. And I could grab the key right now and open up this shop just to save myself a key, but I don't want to do that because there's a mystery item there And I want that to still be an option, because you're only allowed a choice. You can't pick both of them up. There is an exception to that rule with a frame-perfect maneuver with a bomb, but it's not realistic to do that. Give me that nickel. Come on. Alright. Got a higher chance for double deal. We'll see what happens. What's in here? Tears up? Absolutely. I mean, there's shot speed also, but shot speed, for the most part, it's not a big deal. Even if you have a really slow shot speed, it doesn't really make too much of a difference. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. I don't really care about shot speed too much until it starts to get ridiculous. I do want to check out the curse room as well. I do have plenty of soul hearts to protect me, so I can spare the hit. And sometimes you'll get more soul hearts. Gotta really watch out for IBS. I can't go in the boss arena unless I sneak through the side if there's a secret room. In my case, there is not. Now I see there's a 2-tile room to the north. I know that's going to lead me to the second knife piece. But before I can actually get it, I have to find all the yellow buttons on the floor. It'll cover up this path so that way I can actually take the minecart. Alternatively, if you have flight, you can actually blow up the entryway with some bombs. But I wouldn't recommend it. Save yourself the bombs. So I'm going to start heading for the boss. So I want to get there as soon as possible. That way I can not waste D6 charges. But I'm probably going to have to head back for the button. Yeah, so you just try your best. It's kind of hard when the bones spawn in your face like that. But that's something to take in mind with the alternate path. It gets pretty dangerous, and if you have low health and or low skill, then you may have a bad time. But you have to learn, so don't give up on the alternate path. Even if you've done pretty much all the unlocks, it's still good to go down there so you can practice, and also once you get good enough, it's actually more viable to take the alternate path because you'll have access to both treasure items. So let's give the boss a try while I'm fully charged. Singe, pretty hard boss, very close quarters, farts, explodes, but you can see now that my worm friend is really helping me out. I have pretty much little to no room to maneuver. That's alright. Keep away from Singe. There's also Death Explosion. Gotta be careful with that. Now the Rosary has been buffed in Repentance. It gives you a Tears Up. Of course the Bible can start appearing, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. However, I'm going to take that after I go in the Devil Room. In case the Bible spawns there. I don't want that. We got the Head of Krampus. Brimstone lasers are great, but being able to reroll is even better. The Wavy Cap, it's weird. You can use it, I think, as much as you want. But every time you use it, well, you get a Tears Up, but then everything starts to look messed up. You can really mess up everything, but I'm not quite ready to do that because I want to show everyone the second knife piece interaction without being 100% drunk. But just know that the more you push this, the more screwed up your screen gets, and it can get absolutely ridiculous. Take the Rosary, get my soul hearts, tears, and we'll also get more Bibles, which not what I'm looking for, but that's alright. The Tears Up and the soul hearts in this case I think are worth it. Alright, so there's a few rooms to explore. That's alright. I'm doing very well. Oh, well, in my case, I have missed a couple of the yellow buttons. So I still got to keep exploring. Now watch out for these guys. Here's the reason why. They'll charge. And they'll oftentimes blow up that rock right there. In my case, I think it got slowed down so it didn't blow up. But just something to be wary of. And these enemies, when they attack, you don't want to stand in front of them. And the little flies, when you kill them, you don't want to stand in front of them because they shoot out a bone. Of course, I end up having to explore the whole map anyway, despite the fact I was trying to avoid it. And that bone there can be destroyed, but it has so much durability. Don't rely on destroying them, because if you do, you'll probably just get hit. And I think that's it. I think I was talking over the sound of the button being pressed. So I think that was my last button. Let's take a look. And it was. Now your stats get revert back to your base stats. And the way that we're going right now, you can memorize it. It'll help to know what's coming up on your way back. As you can see, there's little mini puzzles up ahead, but they're not that big of a deal. And plus, you can't fully see how the environment is because it's going to change on your way back, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. But either way, oh, by the way, there's a tinted rock here, I should say. But I can't actually destroy it because I've lost all my pickups temporarily. They will come back as soon as I'm done with this. There's knife piece 2. And Mom's pretty angry about that. So it's time to run. For this, you want to be patient. There's no reason to rush. It may seem like it, but there's actually no timer. And if you hold still, she doesn't actually bump into you. She'll bump into you when she charges, but she's not going to walk into you slowly. Just continue to bait. You can even use this door as a way to get out if you're really stuck. As long as you take your time, you can get through this pretty easily without taking damage. But, of course, it does take practice like anything Binding of Isaac related. Unfortunately, the sound of my voice sometimes will prevent me from hearing the charge sound, and therefore that will get me hit. You can also look at her and that'll give you an indicator that she's about to charge. If you see no way out, there's probably a button that you missed. Yeah, I need to get over there. Do you mind? Thank you. Oftentimes there's poop too. Sometimes they contain flies, so you want to be careful with that. Now I think you could potentially soft lock yourself there because that barrel was pushable, and you could, if you're an idiot, push it out of the way, but don't do that. Alright, I've escaped. My stats have returned. I have the knife piece now, or the completed knife rather. It acts as a familiar, but more importantly, it's going to be the key to our destination. Alright, I still could use some more soul hearts. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to spin some health in order to move on, because the next alternate path door is going to cost hearts. Speaking of hearts, I could also use the confessional here to get more soul hearts. That would require me to go through here and collect the remainder of the hearts. It's a little bit time consuming. For your leisure, I'm going to speed this up and just to see if I get anything helpful. Alright, well, it blew up pretty quickly. Normally I like the Devil's Crown because it replaces treasure rooms with devil rooms. It's like a special treasure room that instead of giving treasure items, it gives devil deals. But in my case, I have chaos, so it's irrelevant. I was hoping to get some soul hearts, maybe an angel item, although I do have chaos. Oh, by the way, I got lucky because this devil room stayed open. Each time you walk out of it, it's likely to close, but if you're really lucky, it's not going to. What this means is that I can demonstrate how crazy the wavy cap can get. Now, I did forget to mention that using it also slows down your speed. And I think that's good enough, just kind of give you a demonstration. But yeah, trying to fight like this, it's not easy. So here's the alternate door. You can barely see that. It's going to cost me 2 stabs. Stab number 1 took a full soul heart. Watch out for those troll bombs. Stab number 2, another soul heart. I'm going to get out of here so that way I don't get hit by the troll bombs. And let's continue on our path. Well, this is bananas, but I accept my fate. Now, this is a planetarium. I know you can hardly see it, but it's a rare type of treasure room. And you can get it more likely if you skip a treasure room, because every treasure room you skip increases the odds of actually finding it. But in my case, I just happen to get really lucky. And here's more bombs. I don't need it. I'm going to re-roll it once I get the chance. And I'm going to take advantage of this wavy cap as best as I can. But unfortunately, I won't get much of an opportunity to show you how to deal with enemies, etc., since everything is going absolutely crazy. But that's the cost of me deciding to show you what the wavy cap does. Now, unfortunately, by going to the second key piece, or the knife piece rather, you can see Bumbo is back to level 1. It's just a glitch. And there's the Bible, pick it up. That way it won't spawn again in the future. Now I got Curse of the Unknown. I don't know how much health I have, but I know that I'm not doing so great, especially since the graphics are absolutely crazy here. I think it does wear off eventually, though. I mean, we saw it go away when I tried to go to the knife piece, the second knife piece. So it should wear off eventually. But in the meantime, we're going to have to deal with this together. I'm sorry. This is the Crane game. One of the best new additions to Repentance, I think. It could have something really good in there. It has its own pool, but in my case, I have Chaos, so I think anything can be found in there pretty much. So give me better loot from all the chests. It's good paired with Bumbo, because Bumbo spawns golden chests. I'm starting to get poor though. There's like around a 20% chance of being able to use the claw machine properly. A lot of times you'll just get nothing. Alright, I'm going to save this for the next room. Very nice. Alright, we got the mystery item and the black hole. Black hole's good. Once again, though, D6 is king. So in the meantime, let's see what is in the secret room. I should have given some more of that to Bumbo, because he needs to be back in his main form. His main form also deals damage, so it's good to have him for more DPS. I got extra bombs, so I'm hurting right now. I think the combination of IBS and Curse the Tower and this wavy cap is starting to beat me up a bit. So I'm going to take a little more time so that way I don't die. Especially since I don't know how much health I have. I lost track. But in conclusion, IBS is not too different from before the patch. It can still get you into trouble, so it's something to take into account before you grab it. Two of Spades doubles my keys. The Stars teleports me to the treasure room. Soul of the Lost, which I grabbed earlier, you know it turns me into the Lost, like with the White Flame. But I can also use it to get a free Devil Deal. The downside, though, is that the other Devil Deals will vanish, just like as if you are the Lost when you take a Devil Deal. So there was very little I could do about that, but that particular enemy there was invincible, so I had to teleport to here to attack the monster there. And that once that monster's dead, then I can attack the monster on the right, which will be vulnerable. But right when I teleported, it shot me, and there's very little I could have done in order to dodge that. Alright, welcome to one of our puzzle rooms. This guy here, he'll charge at you immediately, but you can outsmart it. Problem is my speed's a little low, so I gotta be careful. So you see there, I bounced it off this rock, then onto this rock, then to that rock, and then to the left rock. And here's the final one. Alright, I do like me some golden chests. I'm going to grab, well, both of them. Why not? You can have Bumbo take care of the coins there. And he's back to normal. And there's the Anarchist Cookbook. In my case, I don't want it. D6, of course. But I do want to pick it up. I'm 2/3 of the way for the Bookworm transformation, but it requires 3 books. That means you'll shoot an extra tier every so often. And once I get my D6 charged, I can re-roll it. And thank goodness the wavy cap is worn off. I don't want to do that again, but I wanted to show everybody what it looked like. Now, soul hearts from Blue Flames, they're a lot harder to get in Repentance. The odds are substantially lower. In fact, I think it's like 10% on hard mode. But if you have a lot of bombs, or if you're really hurting, sometimes it's just worth it. So the secret here is I could use the Soul of the Lost to go grab those items, but in this case, you blow up this rock, and it forms a bridge. You'll just learn to remember these rooms. There aren't a crazy number of them. Gotta be careful of Bumbo. He could blow me up pretty easily. Especially on that small bridge. One more room and I can re-roll. So let's head back. I don't want to re-roll the Spewer yet. The Spewer is in the arena. I mean, it's not that great, but better than the Bible in this case, which isn't going to help me at all. I will take that. Infamy block shots every so often. I have plenty of damage. I need a little more defense. Now, I haven't encountered greed yet in the shop. I'm probably due. Maybe not. Okay. I could grab this and it'll start the level over. It helps you get treasure items and extra devil deals and angel deals, etc. But remember, I'll lose the D6 in that case because it is an active item. We got another puzzle. First goal is to destroy that red poop there. Got the button. You wait it to come back. Once it's back, you head down, right, or up. Now I need to make it go right, but the problem is I need to get past it, so I'm going to trick it. And voila. It's not too hard to figure out, but once again, it's another one of those things that the more you play, the better you'll get at it. There is that super secret room, so of course I do want that. Here's a trick. If you're low on bombs, you can actually push the troll bombs when they spawn in and destroy things like the shopkeeper here. Now that was a rookie mistake, but at least I got a bunch of coins out of it. This mimic had blood on the right side. The blood indicates that it's a mimic. They made mimics harder to detect in Repentance. So always look at the bottom right if you ever see a brown treasure chest. And make sure there's no blood there. And if there is blood, prepare to be hit. And you need to decide at that point if you're willing to risk a hit to grab the contents inside. Luck up, tears down. In my case, I have so many tears right now that it doesn't matter. 5 is the cap until I find an item that will raise it beyond. There aren't too many, but they do exist. Now, I wish I had some batteries. There's so many items out here that I could re-roll, but it's just not meant to be. So the last thing I'm going to do, I do have 40 coins. I am going to head for the crane game and try to get the last contents of it. There's up to 3 items in the crane game. And by up to 3, I mean there's always 3. This is yet another active item, so I'm not going to be using it, but I want to know what's behind it. I'm not going to learn what's behind it. I don't want to risk it any further. That's just something you have to acknowledge. Sometimes the crane games, you just don't get lucky. Now we're going to head for the boss. Although I forgot about the mystery item at the top. So let's head there first. And just like the other rooms, the alternate floors, I'm going to have 2 options all the way to the end here. Let's see what I get. I don't know how to pronounce this,
Epiphora,
but it's going to increase my tier rate. I mentioned earlier there aren't that many items that go beyond the cap. Guess what? This one does. However, it's probably not going to work that well for me because of IVS and the Maw. And the reason why is because you have to hold your attack in order to gain the benefits. But there's things that'll interrupt it. Like this will interrupt it. So I didn't actually explain this very well. What I meant to say is that as you're holding the attack button, you start to gain tiers over time. You get a higher tier rate. But when you change direction, or if you stop firing, then whatever tier rate that you gained while you were holding the attack button is going to start over. This Siren. Siren's hard when you have a lot of familiars because she takes control of them. So in my case, I have the knife. She will take control of that if I'm not careful. And there were little pockets there, so it is hard to dodge all that. Just try your best. I have no more re-rolls. Normally I wouldn't take this, but the Lost Fly is now with me. Damages enemies it touches, but also contributes towards the Beelzebub transformation, which grants you flight. And if you've never done this, by the way, oh yeah, it also grants you the ability to spawn flies here and there and makes enemy flies, sometimes it neutralizes them. Be sure you blow up the skull here, because it will drop a trinket if you haven't unlocked it. In my case, I happen to get the reverse world card, and that spawns a crawl space. Excellent. This is going to be Eden's Blessing. It gives me a tears up, but also in my next run, I get a free item. That's especially helpful if you want to do a more dangerous run on your next run, like if you want to do the Lost. But in my case, I've unlocked everything, so it's not a big deal. Gehenna is the next alternate floor. I think this one is harder. There's more spike balls, more traps, more monsters. We'll get into that as they come. Be careful standing to the left and right of these goats because they'll charge you. There's also a larger variant that will shoot lasers like that guy just did. And once again, I got lucky. There's a secret room attached to a boss room. Now I could go down here and just bomb my way in the middle, but I want to show you a trick on how to find where to place the bomb in the bigger rooms. So I'm going to slowly move. You see how the world shifts a little bit? Right there is where the bomb needs to be placed. Unfortunately, I don't remember how much health I have. I think I have at least 1 heart. Now this will help because I am increasing my damage here every time I get stabbed, thanks to the Bloody Lust. 40-hour energy. I should have popped it at the end. However, if I go to the boss, I won't be able to leave because it is going to be the mom fight. Although it's a little bit different. We'll get into that when the time comes. In the meantime, I'm going to blow that up. Going to get my Devil Deal chance increased. Excellent. I'll have even more opportunities to lose money. So I'm going to pass on that. I will not pass on this, however. Euthanasia will one-shot enemies. Just like that. It one-shotted the chain in this case, which didn't count as a boss, so the boss didn't actually... So it actually counted as killing it. Now that mask is really fast, so you gotta watch out for it. Doing the boss arenas this late in the game is risky, but I have a lot of damage, so I wanted to take that risk. Really gotta be careful of these guys. Unfortunately, my speed is low, so it's really hard to dodge them. Watch out for bombs, of course, from Bumbo there. And here's one of our trap rooms, a very simple one. Missing page number 2. It's a disappointing item. If you get damaged and you have a half heart when you get the damage finalized, or if you have nothing but soul or dark hearts, then it'll damage the room. However, I do have 1 heart at least, so it's not going to trigger. By the way, you may have seen Infamy trigger. I got lucky during that sequence. There's Temperance, but it's not going to help me much right now because there is a Devil Beggar that I want to pay out with. And I'm not going to grab the mystery yet. I want to continue to explore and get the D6 charged. If I run out of charges, I'll just go for the mystery item. Watch out for these guys. When you kill the parasite, the big one will shoot brimstones at you at an angle, and it's really hard to get around that. Okay, so I have 2 options. I can either push the button to reveal them, or I can slowly whittle them away with the worm friend there. Although that was scary, I almost got hit. But in my case, I'm going to just move on and release the Krakens. I didn't actually intend to hit the second button, but it's a tight space, so it just happened. This worm here gives you extra shot speed. It's nice early on because it does give you a ton of shot speed, but I don't need it with technology. Shot speed's irrelevant. This is one of the newer items. It comes from the boss pool, but thanks to Chaos, it's here. It gives me damage up and a luck up. I always like damage, of course, and the more luck I have, the more often Euthanasia will trigger. I need to stop letting Bumbo grab all my coins because now I'm starting to become poor. I still think I have 1 heart. I might have 2, it's possible, but I'm going to play it safe because of Curse of the Unknown. Come on, give me something. My D6 is fully charged. The Devil Beggar has not paid out. I'm going to go ahead and spin the roll. Pointy Rib, disappointing. It pokes your enemies. It's weak. It's pretty bad. I'm going to leave the batteries there for now because the mystery item is still an option, and I could re-roll whatever the Devil Beggar drops in case it's not good. This room here is another puzzle room technically. You could go around. Those pillars block flight. However, there's actually a hidden button behind it. Got the sun. That's going to get rid of Curse of the Darkness if you had it. Heals you to full. At least all your red heart containers. And it also damages the room. In my case, I used it immediately, so that way I can just go for the Devil Beggar. And I could have used it in the next room to clear them out, but I missed that opportunity. I will take this. The Sacrificial Dagger is going to give me an orbital, which is going to protect me. And I will grab the battery because I don't anticipate getting the opportunity to grab the next one. Well, unless this roll is garbage again. And it kind of is. It's the everything jar. It does everything. Since I'm not grabbing it, I'm not going to explain how it works at the moment, because it can do quite a lot of things. But in my case, once again, I have the D6. The D6 is king. I am going to do what I didn't expect, which is re-roll it yet again. Well, I think it's destiny for me to grab the mystery item. The jawbone here, it works like a boomerang. You can use it to pick up items that are too far away from you. Although I don't have flight. I could grab that instead of the mystery item just in case. And I will. There's a lot of bad things that could happen grabbing the mystery item. I almost always go for it anyway because I'm a sucker for mysteries. But also, in this case, if I had a bad item, I could probably take the hit. Although I do not know how much health I have. By the way, that trinket right there makes red chests spawn permanently instead of brown and gold until you drop it. I'm going to focus here. This is a hard room. Okay, I could not talk during that for obvious reasons. Rooms like this is what the alternate path is infamous for. I did get hit, but thankfully the Mask of Infamy rather saved my butt there. And that right there is another reason why the jawbone is helpful. If it's in a dangerous spot, you can use it. It just fires automatically as you shoot tiers. I'm going for the super secret room, and then I'm heading for the boss. I will take this. The charge penny will charge up your active item every time you pick up a coin. Well, I say every time, but the reality is it's only some of the time. But it'll add up, so it's helpful. Now I gotta place the bomb, but I gotta be careful not to touch it. If I ran back, I could have got hit by the trap there. So this is the zombie beggar, or the rotten beggar. This beggar is really hard to actually get a payout from, and the payouts are usually trivial. So what I tend to do is just blow them up and increase my devil deal or angel room chance. If I have an obscene amount of cash, then I'll play with the beggar, but not this time. There aren't any hearts. I'm not going to deal with the donation machine. I'm going to head for the boss now. Also, I generally don't explore the entire Mausoleum and Gehenna because there's so many traps. It's hard to maintain your health. It's hard to make a profit. But it also depends on how strong I am. The stronger I am, the more likely I'll explore the whole facility, I guess you could say. Alright, so we're going to head for a variant of Mom. It's Stronger Mom. Her foot is faster, it stomps more, and it has explosions. Then the doors on the edges that have eyeballs will shoot brimstone at you. Here we go. Treat her like the other mom. Stay away from the doors because you can get it by hands. I had a 90% chance for a devil room. Didn't even get it. That's pretty sad. And I'm going to grab the negative. The negative is going to give me a damage up. I would grab the Polaroid because it could protect me every time I get shot, but I have a HP up. And that's going to prevent this from activating. I'm not even guaranteed to get an item in the devil room that I can grab. So I'm taking the negative for the damage. I could head in here to go back down the standard path to the womb. Of course, you know why we're here in this case. You use the knife piece, open up the door, proceed on to the next boss. The harder version of Mom's Heart. It's a bullet hell, so you gotta prepare yourself. Take out those eyeballs as soon as you can. Thank you, Bumbo, for the assistance. The more damage you deal to her, the harder it usually gets. She has a certain number of patterns. The lost contact, I noticed, is really helping me out by destroying all those tears that are in my way, though. Alright, we're heading to the final 2 levels. Corpse. As of this patch, there is no alternate floor to Corpse, but they're thinking of putting in another alternate floor to this. Now, I'm not doing so hot. I have 1 red heart and 3 soul hearts, 2 dark and 1 soul. It's very possible I might not even make it this run, because I've been a little reckless. There's been bad synergies. Good synergies too, it's just that random explosions are starting to really weigh me down here. I only have 13 coins, so I might bomb that stuff later, but for now, let's move on. Ta-da! Very nasty room. We've got the triple trap in the middle. These guys, you can't damage them unless they open up. Yeah, it's likely I'm going to die this run, unfortunately. Not a very good demonstration of Mother for the very first time. But that's just how things roll in Isaac. You win some, you lose some. Not helpful because the compass reveals certain rooms, but I have the mind. It's already revealed everything. Except the ultra secret room, but we'll get into that later. I'm going to open these up because they could have soul hearts, which will save my butt. I'm staying back because the explosions. The little pocket there. In conclusion, I would still not recommend IBS. It's been improved, but it's still a liability. It's a major liability, in fact. I'm hurting, so I'm going to pop the mystery pill. If it's a bad trip, it's going to really give me a hard time. Although, I'm actually not going to pop the mystery pill. There is a bad trip in the mix. I could use the Soul of the Lost and then pop it, but I want to use that for a curse room potentially, but I might not have the health to make it happen. Either way, I'm going to leave the mystery pill alone. Well, let's start. I'm going to take the 40-hour energy because I could re-roll what's in the devil room without it closing. Watch out for the guy in the middle. He just grabs onto you with the suction powers. I could have cut corners. In fact, I will. It'll save me from having to go through an extra room because I have extra bombs. Come on, Bumbo. Give me something good. No? Okay, fine. You just want me to die, don't you? Here's another trap room. In my case, I don't have to deal with it totally because I can just grab the items with the jawbone. But of course, I gotta hit that button. So there's 2 ways to do this. The safe way and the not so safe way. Obviously, I'm gonna go the safe route because my health is horrible right now. So now I can head straight for the middle. I even switched the D-pad when I'm moving up. That way I don't move at an angle and accidentally hit one of the spikes.
I can see forever.
Now, the sun's only going to help me with damaging enemies in the room. But I'm going to save it. If there's a nasty room, I'm going to pop it. I gotta watch out for corpse because there's a lot of enemies that have boss armor. Those guys don't, but the boss armor enemies, they take a lot of hits. Now, if only I could use these hearts. I really need a dark bum, but it's unlikely I'm going to get it because of the fact that I have chaos. I've had a lot of devil rooms, but of course, since all the pools are merged, I probably won't get them. Speaking of boss armor, this enemy does have boss armor. Good news is I do a lot of damage, but the bad news is a lot of it is self-damage too. And I'm not doing so hot, and it's even worse is I have Curse the Blind, so even if there is a devil deal, I won't be able to see what it is, so I'm pretty much in a really bad spot. But let's give the boss a try. Chimera, 2 forms. Watch out for the brimstone. The head will separate, and that's when the fun begins. There it goes. Watch out for the brimstone. There it comes. You get charged at constantly. Try to stay in line of sight with the one that shoots the brimstone. This is where my lower speed is a detriment. Let's grab the mystery item. Car battery, very useless with a D6. It rerolls it twice. Oh look, a mystery item. So the last thing I'm going to do now is, out of complete desperation, I'm going to utilize the arcade and hope for the best. Ironically, there's so many hearts, but I just can't use them. I got absolutely nothing, unfortunately. And Bumbo has taken probably 15, 20 coins and has not paid out anything. So he's holding out. Everyone clearly wants me to die. But I will keep on fighting. The thing about Isaac is no matter how terrible things are, sometimes you can just come out on top. I'm saving 48 hour energy in case there's something I can re-roll on the way. We'll see. I'll check the secret rooms. Maybe I'll get lucky. And of course, Curse of the Lost. I can't see where I'm going, meaning I can't head straight for the secret rooms. I won't even know where they're at. Very unfortunate. Again, this game is trying to murder me, but that is how it works. When the explosion happens, get out of the room as soon as you can. That way you can despawn all of the tears in the sky. Now, all these explosions paired with my low speed, it's definitely a recipe for disaster. I also haven't seen a single tinted rock. That's something I'm used to seeing, is tinted rocks everywhere. Well, maybe not everywhere, but I've explored enough rooms to where these tinted rocks will sustain me. Literally, the only tinted rock that I've personally seen was in the chase sequence. Things are not looking up. But there's always ways to improve. One way that I could improve is to use some more bombs. Especially helps against the bosses because they do extra damage. It's a learning experience for sure. I'll just take this with me. Right there is a mimic. See, I've learned you don't want to grab that in this case. And that'll be the end of me. And charge up the Maw. I see no sign of a secret room yet. The layout is not allowing for it. Question is, what's going to kill me? I bet you IBS is going to be what does me in officially. Those chargers there, they turn their head, so you got to watch out for that. They don't charge in a straight line. Clear the room. What do we got? Giving all these to Bumbo. Maybe he'll give me some mercy and give me a red heart or a red chest, or maybe he'll give me a bomb to my face. More 48-hour energy. I'm definitely going to pop the mystery pill. It can't be a health down, and it can't be a bad trip because I have 1 heart. But of course, it's not something good. Retrovision just makes it hard to see. Which, you know, of course, I really need that right now. Now the question is, do I want to risk it all and try to hit these buttons, especially with Retrovision? I don't. Normally I would try something like this, but the stakes are just way too high. I would use the D-pad though. You could go in corners that way, or use the keyboard. It'll help you to cut through without getting hit. You know what? I changed my mind. It's that desperate. Position myself and hit it. Now there's 2 ways to do this. There's the cheese way and the non-cheese way. The non-cheese way is to line yourself up again and go. The cheese way is to quit out, come back in, and takes you back to the door, and the button's already been hit. It's up to you if you want to do that. I just want to present you with all the options that you have available. Come on, Bumbo. I'm relying on you, Bumbo. If he drops a bomb here, I'm probably going to cheese it. Here we go. Line myself up. It's harder doing it this way because my head covers up everything. You also have to watch out for haunted chests. They have a slight gray tint to them, and they could have a ghost that could try to attack you. Speaking of which, alright, this boss arena could save me. Do I really do this? Is this really something that I'm going to resort to? Oh. Do I do it? I gotta do it. They're handing me the olive branch here. I can't just not do this. Bumbo, you're gonna be my hero. The thing about Isaac is no matter how terrible things are, sometimes you can just come out on top. So with the Nod Leaf, I'm invincible. The downside is I have to hold completely still. Now, I do have IBS. It's possible that IBS may end up destroying me with the Nod Leaf. I don't know if that's the case for sure, but we're going to find out, aren't we? Now, if I manage to survive all this, don't you worry. When Mother comes, I'm going to still redo her, just because it wouldn't really be much of a learning experience with Mother if I just stood here the whole time and we just let Bumbo kill her. But, of course, I have to show you the whole way through. Normally it's a really, really hard boss, but thanks to the Nod Leaf and Bumbo here, it just took a little bit of time, but the job's done. Now I'm still in Nod Leaf form. I gotta wait for the spikes to come back down, and now I can safely move. I still gotta watch out though. I could die on the way to Mother, but here we go. Come on, Bumbo. Give me a soul heart. I also still don't know where the secret rooms are. No clue. I could use the Nod Leaf in every single room, but I think I could do it. I don't think I have to resort to that quite yet. But I really got to watch out for bombs from Bumbo here. I think there could be a secret room here. That was extremely close. Alright, I'm going to blow these up in hopes of getting Placenta. Placenta will give me an HP up. It's extremely rare, but desperate times. Alright, I am going to blow up here as well just in case, because I can't see the map. Let's see what I get. Unbelievable. I think I'm going to be okay. I'm going to blow up the shopkeeper. If I'm lucky, he'll actually come back from the grave and fight me and then drop a steam sail potentially. And if that happens, I would use the D6 to re-roll it. Enemies that spawn specific items are not controlled by chaos. And with the rest of my coins, maybe I can get... Well, we do have the Emperor here. Alright, we have one last thing to do, of course.
Wheel of Fortune.
And that's destroy Mother and get our free win.
The Emperor.
So sit back and relax. I will show you the easy way of winning, and that's with Bumbo. And then afterwards, I will show you the authentic way of fighting Mother. And that's it. I'm the best. So much skill. Alright, so for those of you that are disappointed, let me show you how to actually fight Mother with this setup in this case. Alright everyone, I'm back. I have put in every single item that I had before into the developer console, gave it to myself. This is on a completely different file. So now it's as if I've reached Mother, except that I actually have something called health. So the stats are all the same as well. And we're going to give this a shot. So this is actually how the Mother fight is supposed to go. She has two forms, as you saw before. The first form is the easiest. Now what I like to do for that knife move is I hug the bottom, And watch out for the stray bullets. Sometimes there's an extra tier at the very bottom that'll try to get in your way. It hasn't happened yet. There it is. And I just try to move up in that case. Now my speed is actually terrible, so I didn't get much of a chance to move when that stray bullet came. But good news is my damage is pretty strong. When you see this, you need to circle around her. Now unfortunately she's right up against that wall. What this means is I cannot circle around her. So that's a situation that is extremely rare, I think. So left, right, straight, and stay back on the third one. There it is, circle around her. Continue to circle, it's going to keep bouncing back. You see how it bounced off the walls. Now, this was kind of a glass cannon type of build, hence why I almost lost in my original run. But that kind of gives you at least a basic idea of how to defeat Mother. Although this is the first on the series, it's not going to be the last. I will be fighting Mother in the future. But for the next video, I'm going to be fighting the Beast and all the Harbingers, so you can see how that works. That also includes, of course, Dogma, who's in front of them. Well, that's going to be it. It goes to show you that no matter how dire the scenario is, keep trying. Don't give up. Don't hold the R button just because things are not going your way. Things can change in an instant. I was on the brink of death. Nod Leaf saved my life. And watch out for certain combos in the future. Like in my case, I decided to give Curse of the Tower a try. Maybe I shouldn't have. It still got me into more trouble than it's worth, I think. Of course, there's certain synergies where it works better with. And items such as Pyromaniac, which makes you heal when bomb explosions happen. IBS also really got me into trouble. So I'm going to be thinking twice before grabbing that in the future. But just play it safe. Don't be too aggressive. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you learned something new or if you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And I hope to have you on the next episode.